Like Sanhedrin Daf Peh Dalet Amud Aleph, 23 lines down. Hazid b'me'ila, Rabbi Omer b'mita. If a person did me'ila, on purpose, means he stole something or used something from Beit HaMikdash, he's chayab mita according to Rabbi. V'achamim rachim say azara, it's just a law. My time Rabbi Hakim Rabbi says chayab mita, Rabbi gemar het mitrumai, the gzera sharaf from the word het. Ba'al mita, avkam mita, like over there by teruma, chayab mita, so too as well. I'm reading Mark Bo. Pasuk says by teruma. Sorry, by me'ila, it says the word bo. Bo v'lo b'me'ila. So by teruma yerchiav, but not by me'ila. Zar sheshimesh b'mitash nam kohen and b'mitash chayam mita. Chachamim say no. Rabbi Akiva says yes. Hanek, Chachamim say not, only b'dei shemaim. Tana Ber says Rabbi Shmuel Mer Nemer Kan v'Azar Yikar V'Mat V'Nemer Lana Klar Krav V'Chmishkan Yimat B'Am B'dei Shemaim Avkan Shemaim Yizik Zver Shvar Tiju b'dei shemaim. Rabbi Akiva Mer says no. Nemer Kan v'Hazar Yikar V'Mat V'Nemer Lalan, by it says by the Navi who tries to get people to serve with Azra. It says over there V'Anei Hu or Alim Alim Hu Yomat Malam Skila Avkan Skila, they both get Sekila. Yochanan Yomer Malam Henek Avkan Henek, just like over there was Henek, so too over here Henek. My community Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Akiva, what's the machlok based off of? Rabbi Akiva Sava Danin Yumad Miyumat. Rabbi Akiva says you make zera shava between identical words. They both say Yumat. We ended in Yumat mi Yamut, and don't learn from Yamut, which is different. Rabbi Shmuel Sava Danin, no, opposite. You learn making zera shava between a regular guy and a regular guy. You can't learn from a regular guy to a Navi case. Where it says Rabbi Akiva, how does he explain that? He says, no, once you the guy, it's this Navi is getting people to do Avodah Zarah, he's not considered a Navi anymore, he's considered a regular guy. Okay. One holds one holds Sekila. The Marshal to Rabbi Shmuel Rabbanat found Machlok. The Hebrew says Navi Shehediyah Sekila. A Navi who gets all the do Avodah Zarah gets Sekila. Rabbi Shmuel, remember Rabbi Shmuel says no Chenek. So we see it's about the actual punishment. Rabbi Mishnah said Rabbi Akiva, remember Chenek. Rabbi Akiva says Chenek. So how can you say Rabbi Akiva says the opposite? The one says no. It's two Tanaim, they have different opinions what Rabbi Akiva holds is the punishment. Matatin Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Akiva. Our Mishnah holds Rabbi Shimon according to Rabbi Akiva that it's Hanek. Right, Rabban Rabbi Akiva, Hamim's the Berta is according to Hamim Rabbi Akiva, which is Sekila. Adonach Elo and Serafin, Adonach Elo Hen and Nisrafin, Adonach Elo Hen and Nisrafin. Next Perek, 10th Perek. We are rolling along. Elo Hen and Hakim, the following people who are strangled. Even the most one who hits his parents. He kidnaps a Jewish person. Or a Tamir Hacham who rebels against what the main Sanhedrin Bedin Yishlaim tells him to do. A false prophet. Prophesies in the name of a false god. Someone commits adultery. So a bat kohen, a daughter of a kohen who commits adultery, she gets serefa. But the man who's with her only gets henek, and so too if Zomim are caught, Zomim testify on her, they don't get serefa like her, like the usual cases Zomim, but rather they get henek. Make aviv moment on another person who's his parents is chamita henek. Titiv umma ke aviv moment jmat v'chol mitahamar b'torah stam ena ala henek. Whenever it says a regular mitat without specifying what it is, it always means henek. Maybe it's talking about killing the parents, not actually hitting them. The Gemara says, he's saying 1 second. If you kill someone random, you get sayaf, which is headache, which is more severe. But your father, you get headache, why would you downgrade that? Gemara says, that makes sense according to me, holds that strangulation is more lenient. That's a good question. And the mandamar henek more, according to the Rabbi Shimon holds that henek is more stringent. Maybe that should be the source. It's good. It's a good thing. Yeah, instead of getting a headache for killing a regular guy, you get headache for killing your parents. The Gemara says no. We see from there. So we see over there that when it says a person killed, it says hit and killed. So only when you hit and kill, that's when it's murder. Our case by a parent says hitting. If it means just hitting, it means just hitting. Okay. It has to write both. It's only someone wrote, the puzzle wrote, if a man hits another man, he dies. Maybe only when you kill an adult man who's able to do mitzvot, then you kill the murderer. any soul that you hit. You only mentioned nefesh. Maybe even a baby that was not going to live. I feel ben shmona, or a baby that's born at the 8th month pregnancy that usually doesn't live. So both person teach you're killing a viable person, even a minor. Okay, بإما أفقد له عبيد بحبرة على ما تنال همكي عبيد بما إن حياب أشياء سبعين حبرة. A different Mishnah says if you hit a parent and cause them to bleed, that is when you're chayav mitah. Our Mishnah never specified that. The Gemara says Amarkra makeh adam umakeh behema. Man hit a man or a person. ما makeh behema da'aviv habura titiba nefesh af makeh adam adiv habura. We don't behema only chayav if you cause a wound to the animal. So too by a person, also by a parent, you're not chayav unless you make a wound. The Gemara says, "Matkif tzara b'yamin ata mehish b'abanim hachanam l'machayev." 1 second, you brought a proof from the animal that you only have to cause, you only chayav if you cause a wound, but if you hurt someone's animal by putting a heavy load, for example, on them, you're weakening them. Of course, you're chayav. The Gemara says, "Ella im eno inyan nefesh b'mav deha enam mehish b'abanim hayav tein illa nefesh adam." So yes, it's an extra word because it can't be touching about a wound because you're chayav even without a wound. So why is mentioned hitting it? It means even if you cause a wound for a parent, learn it for a parent. Okay. El hekshel means why you need hekesh in the first place. Between the animal and the parent, if you have an extra word, the Gemara has that kind of Hizkiah, like what the teacher would have Hizkiah, the Yeshiva Hizkiah told you that if you accidentally hit, if you accidentally did an act that would have killed you if you did it on purpose, then if you do by accident, you're patur for money. That makes the point opinion that holds of the Hizkiah, but the opinions do not hold of Hizkiah. What do they do with the pasuk? Different Hidush, famous one. If you hit an animal to help it out by bloodletting the animal, for example, you're patur. So too, if you hit a person for a parent, for example, for bloodlet for therapeutic reasons, it's also patur. The Gemara says, ben mahu shekis dam laviv. Rav matana mar b'avdei hakmocha. 1 second. Similar concept. You let a bloodlet for your father or not? Rav matana says yes. If you can do it for your friend, you should do it for your father as well. Learn that pasuk teach you There's a pasuk teach you the same way if you do it for an animal that's beneficial for the animal, patur, do it for a parent. Rav Lo Shavik Livre Silva. Now, on the other hand, Rav did not let his son remove a splinter from his skin. More brave than Ravina Lo Shavik More than the son of Ravina did not let his son cut his boil on his hand or his body. Because if they accidentally opened the wound and caused the bleed, they be chayav by accident. So if they're worried about a wound, then why let anybody do it? You're not to wound anybody. Mar says, no, it's different. If someone else causes a wound for a random person, it's a accidental lav, a regular a sword. That's accident. They're very patur completely. Something's a little more hamor. It's an accidental of an item that will be chayav mitah. Therefore, they didn't want their child doing it. And big thing now. Son is dentist, son's a doctor, etc. I mean, they're giving a shot, checking the sugar on the finger. Big issues. V'atan Mishnah says, "Ma'het shel yad litol ba et akot." Just a quick story. One time, there was a call, and my mother-in-law was just getting checked out, and I was with other members, and we wanted to just check her sugar. So I actually handed the lancet to someone else, another member, and he's like, "Why don't you do it?" I was like, "Because I consider my mother-in-law my mother, and therefore I cannot prick her finger to cause her to bleed." The other member's like, "Wow, my son-in-law, he would do the lancet in my throat. Forget about my finger." Okay, Mishnah says, "Mahad yad litol baha et hakot." On Shabbat, are you allowed to move a needle in order to take a thorn out of your hand? You're allowed to, even though you might cause bleeding. Why would you allow to do that? If you accidentally cause them to bleed, it's a mistake of a thing that you have sakila. So we see that you can do something even by mistake. So how come the rabbis didn't let their sons? The Gemara says, no. If you're moving the thorn and you cause a wound, that's a destructive act. And therefore that's okay. The Gemara says, 1 second. That's what opinion holds that doing a destructive act on Shabbat is patur. Have you ever heard that if you do a destructive act of wounding is chayav? It's according to Rabbi Shimon. It's according to Rabbi Shimon. But Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Shimon himself holds that any act that you do at the surah on Shabbat, that you don't do it for the actual purpose Meaning, I'm removing the thorn and I'm accidentally or thereby uh, passively also causing a wound. I'm not doing it for the actual wound, then I'm patur. So according to him, if you're not intending to cause bleeding, it's as well, it's okay. And the same thing would be applying to a parent.